Welcome back to the, to the show match of CLG against Team Liquid. As I said, I'm really sleep deprived. I messed up again, but this is the show match for $1,000. The second map coming up between Liquid and CLG. Now let's adjust the score. We are just waiting for the knife round to go live. As the players all are connected, no more DDoS on CLG anymore. We still have Botcat in there, but he just wants to have some on-stream time as well. So very good performance on the CT side by Team Liquid on Mirage, and Swag, the stand-in, didn't necessarily hurt them too much, you know, it didn't weaken them. He actually performed quite nicely and clutched a few rounds as well, even though one of his biggest clutches in the 1v5 was neglected due to the DDoS attack and 3 players standing still. So the round had to be replayed, and Swag was a little bit upset because of that, but he realized that the players were standing still and there was no point in having that round to count in the regular play. So now we're just waiting for the players to ready up. They are not chatting at all. So we are starting the knife round in a few moments. Actually 1 minute until the knife round goes live. Liquid won 16-13, but it was really close, and they managed to win with an eco round on Mirage, and that was definitely an upset. CLG kind of stumbled into the B bombs, and a little bit clumsy by them, like a really fat small dog when he tries to catch a stick or something, and he actually falls over his own feet. CLG kind of reminded me of that in that last round against the Pistols of Team Liquid. Nitro had the CZ75 ready, and he picked up 2 frags on that, but sadly Tarek wasn't able to clutch it in the end. It was Swag to defuse the bomb and save the day for Liquid. Now the streamers are ready. We're waiting for the players. Even though eBot says streamers are not ready, that's because we are not readying up in eBot at all. That's just for the players right now. And the winner of this best of 3 series will win $1,000. That's quite a lot of money for the effort of playing CS in a best of 3. And you know that the 99 Damage Arena cashes out $2,000 in one best of 3 series. So that's even more money. But the 99 Damage Arena is a little bit more work, in my opinion, because there are actually a few games going on consecutively and stuff like that. This show match, though, is a good opportunity for the teams to earn some additional money on top of their salaries, which are probably not too shabby, as Team Liquid and CLG are both really successful organizations. Maybe not so much in CSGO yet, but, you know, the deal with the North American... I'm sorry, it's probably 80% North American viewers right now. I don't want to upset you, but you know that your scene is... They have a few strong teams, but in my opinion, Europe has a few stronger teams. No offense, though. NA is getting there, and they have the commitment, and they really want to do that, as CLG really wanted to win the knife round, it seems like. They are starting on the CT side. Tarek just calls it out, and Liquid with the one map lead in the best of 3, starting off on +2 on the terrorist side, which is arguably a 50-50 map, especially if you look at the statistics. But I think recently more teams felt more at home on the CT side, and I think the statistics are lagging behind a little bit. They are delayed a little bit, so it is actually, I think, a 60-40 CT map. 9-6, 8-7 in favor of the CTs are scorelines that are perfectly alright for both squads. And for some teams, even a 10-5 on the CT side would be alright if they, you know, have a strong CT side themselves. Liquid now starting off with a default. No pushes on any direction, or no really aggressive pushes. They have 2 players on a long being flashed in by their teammate. And they will find the first frag courtesy of Swag, who then goes down to JDM, but Fugly with the quick trade. Once again, it's team damage here by the terrorists. We've seen that quite regularly in this matchup. And 4v3 situation in favor of the terrorists. Now they're pulling out of a long again and delaying that push. Make the CTs rotate a few players, and they split each other up. One at B, one in middle, and one at A short. So the CTs now try to gather some information on the terrorist movements, as Liquid have gathered themselves in B tunnels. They will execute the B split actually, with Flowsick pushing through middle, and he will pinched in by 2 CTs. He needs to pick up the frag before he goes down. He gets a headshot onto Hayes. Finesse goes down to Nitro. 4v1 situation. Cutler is running in, but Nitro has his gun ready. The trigger was already pulled, so to speak. 1-0 in favor of Liquid on the terrorist pistol. Good job by them opening up just like they closed out the first map. And yeah, they are going for the full in-buy. They have 4 rifles, MP7 for Flowsick, CLG with a big investment at the same time. They have 2 CZ75s and a Scout for JDM, 5.7s for Tarek and Hayes. So they are trying to keep the terrorists either the economy as low as possible or just win the round. And obviously the latter is the basic aim, and if they can't win the round, at least they want to get as many terrorists removed as possible. JDM now with the refrag on a long with a Scout. Cutler sneaks in, sees a 75 in hand, double kill for him. Just doing the same that Nitro did to them in the last round of Mirage. Now FNS is reinforcing a long, goes for the reload. Cutler takes turns. Hayes is there to pick up Swag from behind. It's a 1v4, and Fugly can't move back or forth without stepping in a bullet. Goes down to Cutler in the end. Triple kill for him. 1-1. And CLG are now back in control of this map, as they started off on the CT side. You could argue that it's the easier side, so they were basically meant to take control in the first round. Now they took it in the second, and we've seen the same thing happen on Mirage already. But it was the other way around. It was actually CLG winning the pistol, then Liquid upsetting them, and then CLG taking over control again, stringing a few rounds together before Liquid could actually make it 7-2, I believe. Now JDM with a swift shot. Another one goes down to his Scout. Really great shots there. Triple kill for him. Doesn't hit the 4th though. Still great performance by him in this round and in the previous one as well, as he covered his teammates quite nicely. CLG with the 2-1, and Liquid with one more save round, or maybe they could go for some upgraded pistols already if they really want to go for some risky play. They are waiting quite long, and yeah, they are upgrading their stuff in the last second basically, so they definitely talked about that, if they should go for it or not. 2 Tech 9s and 3 P250s and a few nades to work with. Liquid down around and on the push into middle. They have Swag pushing through the smoke, and that was not the best play to make. FNS hasn't covered from behind, even though Swag could have slipped through the CT's fingers. That smoke wasn't put there by nobody. It must have been put there by somebody, and usually the CTs end up watching the smoke to avoid having a terrorist push through that. So Swag must have thought that the CTs just put that smoke over there and then abandoned it, so to speak. Cutler now with the double kill in the A bomb site. Carrick in middle closes out the terrorist. Only 1 frag for Liquid. Ace was the unlucky guy to face his Maker. 3-1 now. CLG will face the first real rifle round by Liquid. 5 AKs, no AWP for the terrorists, and double AWP set up by CLG already. They want to shut the terrorists down straight away. They don't want to have any any risk taken or something like that, that they, you know, in hindsight, oh, maybe we should have gone for the double AWP setup straight away. Now they have it already. JDM just keeps his barrel as hot as his scout already was, and FNS covers his teammate on the retreat. Good job by the CTs, just falling back after they took out the first two terrorists, or actually the first terrorist. They fell back already after the first frag and picked up another one while falling back, so it turned out even better than they already expected it to be. 3v5 now, and the terrorists on the A bomb side, or on A short, looking into that direction. JDM tosses an 8 at them, but no damage dealt. So the T's still looking for an opening frag as Cutler through the smoke picks off a Dren. Kind of weird frag over there. He must have heard him step around or something. Otherwise, I don't really know how he did that. 1v5 now in favor of the CTs. Tarek goes down to Swag, and the youngster will be chimped in between the CTs. Hayes picks up one AWP frag. So both AWPs with one frag each. It definitely paid off for the CTs right now. 4-1. Liquid didn't get a single bomb plant in this matchup so far. And despite winning the pistol round, the CTs are up 4 rounds, or are up 3 rounds, and they are up to 4 rounds on the scoreboard in total. 8 frags for Cutler, 6 for JDM. The terrorists are just slowing down, you know, looking for an easy frag somewhere. The CTs are staying away from that. They're going for the long shots. JDM and Cutler are there on the A bomb side. Cutler picks up 2. Tarek is in between, and JDM with a good reaction onto Nitro. Not too easy to pull that off and hit that shot straight away. And we will have a pause coming up. 5-1, and I'm not quite sure what the problem is. Well, maybe somebody dropped a bottle on his keyboard. I don't know. Stuff like that happens, you know. You might be smiling right now, but really, or somebody might have broken his mouse on Liquid. It's all happened already, and we've all seen that. Something that one of my ex-team leaders said, you know, Daniel, you never know what is going on behind the screens. You only hear them talk. Obviously, that doesn't go for CLG because they are in the bootcamp house right now. But, you know, the two teams don't know what is going on the other side behind the screens. Team Liquid doesn't know what is going on the other side screen. Obviously, he said that to me when I was still quite young and played in a team with mostly 14, 15-year-old guys. Now I'm 26, so it was quite a long time ago already. But the mother could have stepped into the room and just dragged them out on their hair or on the ear or something like that, and, you know, stop gaming right now, I need to have you clean up your room right now, or dinner is ready, come here right now. No, mom, I'm playing a match right now. Screw you, buddy. You're like 14 and you're playing games all day. Go outside. Yeah, stuff like that. I have lived through all of that, and I think you did the same. So I definitely know what it's like. You know, Swag is still quite young, and there has been rumors or more or less stories that his parents didn't approve at first. I think they are now approving for really sure. Because there is a lot of money in CSGO right now, and if you're a parent and you keep your really talented kid from playing the game professionally, you would be kind of weird kind of parent, in my opinion. Because sometimes it is risky to put your life on the line. Not your life, but, you know, your job life on the line because you play the game. So education is still really important, but I think you can still play CSGO and go to school. Look at TSM, they are studying. Look at Dignitas, they are going to school as well. Swag is obviously going to school as well, so it is definitely possible to maintain your skill level and have a good education at the same time. Now Liquid back with the rifles. Counter Logic Gaming still with the 2 AWPs in the hands of JDM and Hayes. And the CTs are going for some very spread out positions. They actually abandoned JDM in a long. Finesse is able to support him a little bit, but it's, you know, that is a gap of a few seconds that the terrorists could have abused if they had known the positions of the CTs. Now FNS is hiding away behind the container, and the terrorists will take it to A a short right now, leaving Flowsick for B tunnels. Just checking it out if the CTs go for some information, because then that A bomb site push wouldn't be the best of the ideas for the terrorists. Now, they are on the verge of executing, but the CT slow them down with an incendiary nade. Cutler is doing a very good job today at the A platform. Together with JDM, he almost closed out every single push that came his direction. And there is JDM from the car position, but Fugly closes him out straight away. Tarek is coming in from CT spawn, just catches the last bullet of his spray onto Fugly. And Ren then is able to pull it back to a 3v3 situation. This is really just proceeding to be a tit-for-tat match, just like Mirage. Dust 2 is not any different at all. Hayes is coming in with his AWP from CT spawn, and Swag running in some trouble. Time is running low as well. Swag down to 16 HP, but he avoided going down and puts down the C4 just in time as Vanessa is stepping it in from a long, taking out 2 terrorists. Now it's Flowsick against the rest, and Hayes has him covered with 4 HP. The CTs will win the round, even though they are slowed down on the defuse. FNS has a defuse kit ready, and he's no dummy. And he's no loser. He bought a diffuser 5-1 in favor of 6-1 in favor of Counter Logic Gaming, and they will once again go for the double AWP setup. Viable strategy on Dust 2, even though Team Liquid seem to have kind of at least found a way to get themselves on the bomb platform. Now they just need to have more players survive on the push towards that bomb site at the same time. That a short push was definitely not the unsuccessful one, considering the outcome of the round. Even though they didn't win it, it was a 2v2 at the end, and it could have easily gone the other way. Considering Hayes' low HP, he was down to 4. You know, it definitely was possible for the terrorists. The CTs once again going for their more or less default play. And this time, though, they have Tarek in middle. He was usually in the B bomb set together with Hayes over there. And Cutler is holding CT spawn. This time, JDM just covers a short. FNS is on a long, his kind of home turf. 4 terrorists in middle / a short. And Swag, the sole guy on a long. He is a stand-in after all, so the terrorists now can just execute as if it was a whole squad and just leaves Swag for a long. Nitro picks up that headshot onto Cutler with some trouble though, and Adran is able to keep his squad alive even though Nitro is down to 3. Swag is down to 32 already, and Fugly is down to 61. Nitro still picks up that frag onto Tarek. FNS coming in from a long once again, and that is something that the terrorists need to adjust their gameplay to right now. FNS is always on a long, and they now know that he's coming from that direction, so they can easily avoid that and cover him after they planted a bomb. 4v2, Hayes and FNS still decline to take the bomb site back, but it's not going to be easy this time. The bomb is ticking way too fast already, even though Hayes gets one more frag onto Flowsick. He needs to retreat and try to save his AWP. And he will not do that. The AWP of Adran is faster, and Team Liquid will win the second round for them. CLG, though, still have enough money to buy up, so they don't need to worry about the momentum right now. They just need to worry about their 2 default setup. They need to switch it up just to keep the terrorists on their heels, and they are doing that right now with an aggressive push on a short and into middle as well. Adran, though, closes out the first. Nitro is now prepared for the push, puts down FNS straight away. Good job by him. Tarek is able to draw it back to a 3v2 situation. The bomb is still basically in the back of the terrorist spawn, so they need to hold on to the B bomb site quite long until the bomb can be planted. A good flash will blind Cutler, and Flowsick has the right timing to take him out. Good job by Team Liquid, as the terrorists now will move on with the bomb. Fugly is probably out of breath already by all the running, but Tarek will save his gun. There's no question about that anymore. So Liquid will cut the lead in half, make it 6-3. Oops, sorry. Tarek not only saves his AWP, but also the equipment that he still has. The incendiary nade is quite expensive, and more so is his armor and the head armor. And he will spot the feed of Flowsick already. Takes a patient approach. Waits for him to really expose himself. Not going for the flashy flick shot into the feed or something like that. That could have made him go down. But he saves his gun thanks to that. Even though he threw away all his grenades. The AWP and the armor was way more important to the CTs. They could go for a buy, and they will do that even though Tarek will end up with only armor. And he got a drop off one of his teammates, so he's feeling fine as well. 4 rifles and JDM with the AWP. Team Liquid though opens up on the B bomb site already. Flowsick taking out Haste over there, and they didn't even commit to that. They just got the frag for free basically without risking anything of their own. Now Liquid is pulling it back again. They are slowing down. They want to get at least some more information, if not another frag. So they are doing the perfect thing to do right now. JDM is down to 49 thanks to some tags. Swag is blinded for now, but he will regain vision. The CTs have 3 players over at B, and it looks like Liquid could actually go that direction. And this could be crucial for the outcome of this round, as Finesse is still holding on too long. He is now rotating back, taking a peek onto a shot where nobody is yet. They are just getting there. Nitro gets smoked off, and that nade shows that the CTs are aware of the position. It shows the terrorists that there's somebody watching it as well. And the T's will take their time to collect all their 4 players over there. They leave Fugly behind on a long to take care of Finesse probably. Swag and Finesse will trade frags. Another one for FNS. Double kill for him. Flowsick with a desperate spray trying to close out another one, but runs out of bullets just in time for the CTs to stay alive. It is FNS still standing on the A bomb site. 3v2. The CTs could still do this as JDM is coming in from a short. FNS trying to get another frag, and he does do it onto Flowsick. Headshot. 2v2. JDM coming in from that other angle, and he will try to catch a few terrorists off guard, which is not going to happen right now. FNS just jumping, desperately trying to spot somebody. It ran with that smoke, working perfectly with his AWP. Fugly covers him, and now it's JDM alone. Is not going to be alone anymore as he joins his teammates in the grave. FNS though with a triple kill was almost getting back into the round for CLG. Liquid string together 3 rounds and get them the 6-4 scoreline. Now the CTs in some money trouble, and they are buying 2 CZ75s actually. Team Liquid with an MP7 for Flowsick, but it is not the worst choice of weapon, even though he goes down straight away to Haze 5-7. Liquid needs to watch out. CLG still look for revenge on that last round on Mirage, where Liquid was able to clinch the win of the map. CLG pushing out into long with Cutler, and the rest of the squad is gathering on CT spawn. FNS keeps his squad member alive and himself at the same time. The terrorists running in some trouble. Wherever they go, they hit rock bottom. JDM now using that patience, but doesn't get the frag. The CTs are now back in a very troublesome situations. Cutler is coming in from behind. The second backstabber coming in there. And Ren is the last man standing thanks to the CZ75 headshot. Cutler picked up that AK, didn't he? He probably just stays with the CZ75 for now, or he just didn't realize that he has an AK. And Ren with that AWP not doing that work that he was designed to do in a 1v1 situation. He wasn't covering himself. He used that smoke to smoke off Cutler, but Cutler was already around, and that was a really swift retake by him. 7-4. Cutler with the eco round, or more or less CLG with the eco round. Everybody chiming in. Everybody chiming in on the action. Good job by CLG getting back into the driver's seat. 3-round lead restored. Double AWP setup is back as well. And Liquid running in some trouble. Galil for Flowsick, Tech9 for Nitro. Still enough rifles on the CTs to make something happen as Adren picks off Tarek on the B bomb site. This is the perfect opening. Team Liquid was looking for something like that. Once again, they get a free frag without doing anything, basically, except for Adren shooting through the smoke in that set angle. And that's something that needs to be utilized a little more, I believe. Those set angles can easily be taken care of with the AWP. Fugly now pushing in from middle, and they have two players pushing in from middle, taking care of the B bomb site, and Flowsick is hanging back in there, just trying to intercept the CTs if they should get back on the bomb site. But now that JDM perishes in battle to Nitro, Cutler and FNS will try to save their rifles for the next round. Liquid with a maybe flawless round. It depends on how eager they are to remove those guns in the hands of CLG. It seems like they are playing with the thought, but they are not really committed to that. Nitro is slowly but surely getting closer, but Cutler has a good position. Even though if they spot him, he's in a very, very hard situation. Yeah, there it is. Swag with a straight headshot. And FNS is the last man. He will not be spotted anymore. Liquid make it 7-5, answering straight back onto the CTs with their following force buy. So very good job by them, not allowing the CTs to string those rounds together, which would have been crucial for the momentum. Now CLG is back on a save, but we have already seen what they are able to do on those save rounds, and now they have one rifle to top it off with. FNS going for a short, just looking into middle, lining up that headshot kind of line, but the terrorists are on the verge of taking a long. They are still not in control of that yet. Haste has eyes on it. Fugly just waiting for the CTs to go for some information. He's got Swag pinning down the middle line, so to speak, with his AWP, and Adren with the AWP trying to accompany his teammates, or you know, just laying down covering fire. That smoke was a little bit sloppy by Liquid, but thanks that it's a save round, they are staying alive on that, and they get through to the A bomb site. The CT's going for some desperate pushes through those smokes, but it's not going to happen. Liquid have everything covered. JDM and Cutler are the last man standing for now, and they don't have any angles to get into. 5 terrorists will cover the A bomb site with 2 barrels pointing in every single opening. Cutler, though, with that racing CZ 75, races in there. Flowsick uses his own pistol to take care of him. JDM in middle will be caught by the terrorist when he backs off. And he could actually go for a shot or two with his 5.7. Dangerous gun in hands, but the aim punch kicks it up, and Flowsick with a second frag makes it 7-6. Team Liquid now doing a really good job on the terrorist side. They really needed some time to pick up how the CTs work, but as soon as they found out how it clicks on the CLG squad, they were kind of easy to be disposed of by the Liquid team. Now CLG with the second last round of this first half on the second map. They're going for the force buy already. They want to have the 9-6 scoreline. They don't want to settle for the 7-7 or the 8-7. Depends on how it goes in either direction. And yeah, rightfully so, considering their money is quite low, but the loser bonus is not that high either. They are all in right now. They are balls deep in this game. Everything is on this one round. They need to pick it up. Otherwise, Team Liquid would probably make it 8-7 without too many problems. The terrorists will slow down and go for the default setup. Kind of invented by Na'Vi back in the day in 2008 or something. They went for the really slow playing style on this too. And it got adapted to CS. It got adapted to CSGO as well. Some teams overdo it a little bit. For example, Na'Vi are or were one of the teams. Mousesports is one of those as well. And Hellraisers obviously run into some time trouble from time to time. And now Tariq goes down. I don't know what's happening to the auto-director. Sorry for missing those frags, but Swag is suddenly the last man standing. The first few frags went into the terrorist direction, but the CTs were able to hold on to A. Once again, it was JDM doing a big part of that, and FNS, who is doing so well on this map. 4 seconds left on the clock. Swag will most probably save this AWP for the next round, and CLG prevailed with that false buy. They only had a few grenades to work with. Haste didn't have any armor. They had a FAMAS in there. Even though they were able to buy an AWP, they had a pistol on Tariq, I believe. So it was really It was a really weird buy by the CLG squad, but it was the right decision to make, as you can tell yourself. Now Liquid with the last round in this first half on the second map. They can make it 8-7 and look back at this half and say, well, we were really successful. If they don't win it, they can still tell the story of a good and successful sturdy terrorist side. Now Swag venturing forward into middle. Catching Cutler off guard, not announcing that approach, catching another one straight away onto Haste. JDM is once again the last or the only one to reply, and he goes down to Fugly. 5 or 4v1 situation in favor of the terrorists. FNS needs to get a 1v4 done, and he does not do it. Fugly with the headshot. 8-7. Liquid will actually trade a few rounds at the end of this half, but they did fairly well on the terrorist side. Now, if CLG win the pistol round, it could turn the other way, but you can see what can happen in the second rounds. So I wouldn't count out any of the two teams yet. There is still a lot of CSGO to watch, and possibly even a third map, which would be Train. Right now, Liquid are in the prone position to take it home on the second map, and I think that it's actually going to happen. 7 rounds on the terrorist side. It's not going to be easy for CLG to get back on a scoreline like that. Even though they are 1 round in the lead, they need to pick up the pistol to make it happen. Otherwise, I think the momentum would swing into Liquid's favor, and they would be able to take home the $1,000 brought to you by BenQ and obviously by 99 Damage from Germany. So big shout out to you guys tuning in right now. I don't know how many European guys we have, or how many North American or South American or Canadians we have. Well, Canada is kind of North American, isn't it? So big shout out to the whole CSGO scene gathering right now for this matchup on a Friday night. We are supposed to go out today, but we rather watch CSGO, and that's, you know, dedication, and that is actually what life is about. You know, if you're not dedicated to anything, your life is going to be in vain. The CT is now dedicated to win the pistol round and get themselves the early lead already, putting themselves in a pole position to take it home right here, right now. On the other side, we have CLG building up the A long execution, trying to get themselves the bomb plant at least, if not the round win. And they take them really slow approach right now. The CTs already have 1 player in lower B tunnels and 1 on A short, so they have some information on middle. And now that the terrorists show up on A long, the CTs know what's going to happen. They are rotating themselves into good positions already, and it all depends on the retake right now for Team Liquid. The terrorists will surely put down the bomb, there's no question about that anymore. And Swag was a little bit too cocky there, and Rendo picks up Cutler, and it's a 1-for-1 trade, 4v4 situation evolving. JDM tries to hold on to the CT spawn and does that with a good shot onto Fugly, but once again it's going tit for tat. Nitro answers back. JDM and Flowsick will exchange frags. Haste with a kill onto Adren. It's a 1v2 in favor of the terrorists, and that nade could actually land on top of the player hiding away. There it was. Haste going down to 47. It's a one-shot basically, but Flowsick is in some trouble. Tarek jumping and shooting with and he's not going to allow the CT to go for the defuse. 9-7. CLG do the mandatory to come back into the game and win the pistol round. So they put 2 rounds between them and their counterparts from Liquid. And you know what Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend. At the moment, Liquid is kind of concrete, as the terrorists are equipped with 3 AKs and the scout for JDM, MP7 for finesse, and he's holding on to the A long approach, and he might run into Flowsick. Headshot is ready though, even though only 22 HP remain for FNS. He's able to get out on top of this exchange. Tarek with a good spray control onto Fugly. Nitro goes for the jumping cheeky shot with the scout, and he will get a double shot onto Cutler and Haste actually. 2v3 in favor of the CTs. Suddenly this round tips in the favor of the CTs. Tarek still standing with 1 HP, received 99 damage. Going for the bomb plant is JDM. Tarek blows up to the grenade of Adren, and JDM will walk into Adren with the pistol ready, making this 1v1 situation go go in CLG's favor. But what an eco round by Liquid. Really doing the job very, very well. I have to say that. Almost going the way of Liquid there on the CT side. Now they need to take this momentum and, you know, take it to the next round. Even though they didn't win it in the end, they had a very good performance and they need to cheer each other on to keep their momentum as high as possible, as CLG is now flying away. 3 rounds between them. It is obviously on top of the piss round, so nothing, no reason to panic right now for Liquid. CLG will capture the A-bomb set without losing a single man. FNS is still hanging out in B tunnels. The CTs will try to single him out as the bomb gets planted on A. They now know that FNS is probably alone over there, and they have both guys ready. Flowsick will actually get the frag before FNS is able to get one more kill on the board. Well, he got one more frag, but, you know, he was in a good position to take even more CTs out of this round. And the CTs get their hands on the AK. They will save it for the next round and spare themselves some expenses on their own guns in the upcoming one. JDM hears that tag onto Adren and gets ready for that push. Now trying to remove Swag as well. And that headshot, really great shot by JDM. With 5 HP surviving for the next round. He was the expendable player. Sadly, he didn't work his way through to the AK anymore. And, well, CLG won't care too much about that, you know. It's a small difference. It might get a big difference in the long term, but right now it's not that big of a difference. Liquid now with the first rifle round. They have Adren with no armor but the AWP. And the terrorist with JDM holding the big gun, not hitting any shots yet. He was not playing it too risky, you know. Whenever the flash came over, he hid away to not risk his life. And that's obviously quite important for the terrorists to maintain that 5v5 as long as possible and then find a first frag or at least trade frags evenly. JDM now closes out at Ren and does exactly what I said at the same moment as I say it. He takes out the first CT, makes it a 5v4 and tips the tide in favor of the CLG squad. Team Liquid now need to reassemble and need to reassemble. Do the same that they did on the save round. Swag with a great spray through the smoke goes to work onto Hayes as well. Tarek though closes him out in turn and FNS is just waiting on top of middle, using the patience to take out Fugly. Now the CTs know that he's on top of that. They try to get out with the frag and there is Flowsick taking care of him. Good job by Nitro to stay away and let his teammate work. Great trust between them. The bomb is planted, however, and the CTs have pushed, the terrorists have pushed into a short. Taking out Nitro is JDM with the straight P to 50 headshot. Now lining up that scope for A. And Flowsick is on the defuse now. And JDM will not allow him to do that. Even though the flames were hot, JDM was hotter. Sorry, that was hay fever kicking in right now. No, I'm not crying. So, CLG now in complete control of this matchup. 5 rounds between them and Liquid. CTs with a save. Seems like CLG could take the second map after all. Fugly with the first frag. Hayes though turns it back to a 4v4. Now Nitro ambushes the CTs and Adren with one as well. FNS answers back, but it's a 3v2 already. One more backstabber coming in and great timing on the CTs. Flowsick with the 5-7 reaction and then JDM perishes. The CTs survive with 3 players. They save all the guns and it seems like the Caster's curse, as counter logic, will lose that eco round once again to sorry, to Liquid, who are the kings of anti-eco rounds, so to speak. They really have some great teamwork, some great timing on those pushes. And the terrorists found themselves pinched in by the CTs. And, you know, when your back is turned to one of the pistols, it doesn't matter how many rifles you have, because you only can shoot at one direction. And that was abused by Liquid. Now they are running in some trouble on the B bomb side. Nitro needs to step it up. He gets a first, gets a second before being taken down. Makes it a 3v3. But FNS with the P250. Oh, not getting that frag onto Flowsick, who was so low. Actually, FNS goes down to the same amount of HP. Now just waits for Swag, but sadly doesn't get that frag in middle. 2v3. The CTs need to hurry up on that retake. Even though they have defused kits, the bomb is ticking loud and louder by the second. Cutler with the covering fire onto Swag, as Flowsick is not too committed anymore. They were doubting themselves, and that allowed the terrorists to get out on top. JDM and Cutler both with a double kill, getting CLG back in the driving seat with a 13-8 scoreline. So the terrorists are creeping forward, snail speed. But if they keep doing what they are doing right now, it should get them over the finish line at one point in this matchup. They just need to keep the CT's economy low and keep their own economy afloat, and everything will be fine for CLG. Possibly taking us to Train, which would be the third map for the $1,000 of the BenQ show match, brought to you by 99 Damage. And I'm the Boo from Germany, if you haven't heard that already. Fugly with the Deagle. The rest of the CTs managed to squeeze out a few weapons, and CLG is weary of that. They are not overextending right now, really slowly working their way into middle, where Nitro is holding with the gun, and the CTs have those guns in the right positions, forcing the terrorists to retreat from middle again. 50 seconds on the clock. It would be possible for CLG to rotate back towards A through A short, but they have 4 players now in B tunnels, and it's highly unlikely that they will actually go. He will actually go for a rotation, it seems like. Swag though with a desperate spray, trying to keep the terrorists from getting onto A short, and now he's jumping back to the to the B bomb site, trying to help Nitro out a little bit. But Tarek and Cutler with the straight frags. Now Swag, but goes down through the door to JDM. Great covering shot with the AWP. 2v4 situation. Liquid will probably just save whatever they have left, even though there's no armor on Adren. He's got one of the most expensive weapons in the game, so he's not trying to risk that. And the terrorists are aware of the low economy of the CTs. They will exit quite fast, and they're looking for the frags all over the place. Adren needs to step it up or just stay away. If he will shoot FNS in the back, and that reveals the position of the 2 CTs. Flowsick is the last man standing now. Famas to the head of the first. And the second doesn't go down yet, but he does get it. I don't know what happened. I think Hayes had to switch weapons or something. 14-8, nonetheless, CLG within reach of 2 rounds of closing out the second map and drawing us to Train. So Liquid with one more save round. Adren with the AWP. He really likes to go for that, and he rightfully does so. At least gets a trade for the CTs and draws it back to equal players on both. CT's pushing forward, and they get the frag onto FNS. Will this be another eco round by Liquid? The bomb gets planted. Liquid needs to hurry up if they want to defuse the bomb in time. They don't have any defuse kits, and I don't think they will go for that. They might actually save those 2 AKs and the AWP for the next round. Even though Fugly is close by already, he only has a USP, and he is kind of the expendable player right now. Let's see what he's able to do with that. He tries to catch the terrorist exiting, while Cutler exits Swag from that round. JDM is coming in from above onto Fugly, making it a certain round for CLG, as the C4 will blow up. And Ren takes that AWP to the next round, but it's going to be 15-8 in favor of CLG, having 7 match points. We have seen the same situation yesterday of the game of... It was actually Virtus Pro against Dignitas, or was it Virtus Pro against Hellraisers at first, when Virtus Pro was able to come back into the game and actually win it against Hellraisers. With 7 match points, Hellraisers were not able to close out the game, so let's see if the same happens to CLG. Adren with the first tag onto Hayes. takes him down to 5 HP. The terrorists on the move to A already through A short. The CTs are rotating their players around as we have quite a few lags on the GoTV. Flowsick puts down JDM. Good shot for the CTs. And Adren just takes a decent look at that. Brain splattered around at the wall. And one more lag on the GoTV. Another lag on the GoTV. And I hope this stops sometime soon. 4v5. FNS draws it back for the CTs and for the terrorists, but the CTs have everything under cover. Adran covers Nitro there in the CT spawn. Good job by him. Kettler is alone right now. He's got 1 minute on the clock, but the CTs are all over the place. And if he doesn't clutch it, Team Liquid will defend themselves from the first match point. 6 more to go for them to allow them to take it to the overtime, and then they still haven't won the match. So yeah, it's going to be a long struggle for Liquid, even though they now face off against a terrorist safe round. Those are really dangerous sometimes as well, with 3 Tech 9s and Swag running into some bullets already. Flowsick is able to cover him. Swag lagging a little bit. Oh, he's running and gunning and picks off Tarek while being flashed with the 5-7. Retreats with 20 HP remaining, leaving CLG scratching their head where that round went. They had a very good shot at taking Swag and Flowsick out, but thanks to Swag's movement, he kind of got himself the kill where he was completely blind. And the GoTV lagged because the because the game server actually lagged. So Hayes and Cutler still trying to do something about that Liquid role that they are on right now. Swag, the youngster, definitely is still playing that game. You can tell that, even though he's only, in brackets, the coach for Cloud9. We now have Swag with a double kill, 15-10. The match is paused due to the server issues. And I think that, well, the pings are quite alright for the players. So it's not impacting them, but if it impacts the game server, it is definitely having an impact on the game. Let's take a lengthy look at the scoreboard. 20 frags for Flowsick, 19 for Nitro. On the other side, we have 25 for JDM and 20 for FNS. So the terrorists have quite a few more frags, but rightfully so, they are in the lead with 5 rounds. On the other side, we have Fugly only on 9 and Hayes only on 11. I'm sorry, the hay fever is really sickening. I have to mute myself, you know, emergency mute, otherwise I would sneeze or cough into the microphone. Sorry for that, but it's summer in Germany, and yeah, Germans are definitely not used to having sun in their face. At least not me, because I'm an IT administrator, you know. We all sit in cellars and code and try to set up PCs all day, all night long. AWP now for JDM. CLG after the save round back on weapons. And the terrorists have a triple boost over at A short. JDM and Hayes will dispose of that. The tower is quickly demolished and leaving the CTs in some very bad situation as Fugly and Flowsick need to pull it together for their squad. Fugly does pick off the first, but Flowsick exposes himself in middle, and JDM had his teammates covered, draws it back to 2-man advantage for the terrorists. They are still on match point, so this round is do or die right now for Liquid. Even though they could make it happen on train, it's going to be really hard for them to, well, take that momentum back as they were going down quite decisively right now. Nitro will most likely not win that 1v3, but if CLG take it to the A bomb site, this could actually mean that he's able to do something about that. He picks up FNS. Now it is a 2v1. This is actually doable for Nitro. As he avoids that flash, he expects somebody to come through middle, and there's nobody coming that way yet. As the terrorists plant the bomb, he uses that Molotov to defuse, to kind of keep the terrorists from planting it, but it's not going to be enough. JDM has a bullet ready, 16-10 in favor of CLG on the second map. So we will move on to train to decide who is going to win the $1,000 sponsored by BenQ. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back with the third map in just a few moments. So I will go for a small advertisement break, try to get rid of that fit of cough that is still sticking in my throat, and you can listen to some music in the meantime. So thank you for tuning in, guys. You can follow me on Twitter and on Twitch, of course. If you want to win some guns, I will give away a few crappy skins after this game, so make sure to stay around.